This is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead. Yes, another style face mask. I have used the others that I've shown you how I make, and they're fast, easy, quick to make. But when I'm walking along and I'm outside, I feel as though I'm breathing in the fabric. Sorry about that, facing just not the camera. I feel as though I'm breathing in the fabric all the time, and it's not a good idea because you don't seem to get enough oxygen. So I played around with it a few times, and I've come up with this, and I'm going to show you now how I make this face mask. And as you can see, it stands proud of your mouth. When you breathe heavily, you're still not sucking in the mask itself, so you've got your own little pocket of air around your mouth, so you don't breathe it in, which is absolutely brilliant. And on this one I have added a nose wire to, and it seems to work very well at stopping my glasses from misting up. So I'll show you now how I made the face mask, and in a little bonus episode, or I'll tag it on to the end, how I made the nose guard, the nose wire, after I'd made the face mask, so you can put it on any masks that you have already got that you like, but you would prefer a nose wire to. I've been fiddling around and trying to get more of a box muzzle type face mask, and using dots and interfacing to help it go stiff. So I've got a piece of black fabric here, and I've already ironed on some lightweight interfacing to it. I'm going to cut this piece to a size of 10 inches by 14 inches. What's here is basically I've measured from my ear to the back of my head, so I know that this will be long enough to do some ties for me. So I'm going to be cutting that possibly 1.5 inches and make ties out of that. So this is what's going to be the face mask, 10 inches by 14 inches, and I have interfaced a light interfacing. I have also made 4 of the straps. I'd only got enough fabric for making 3 and 2 bits, so I sewed the 2 bits together, and you might be able to make out I joined them there on the diagonal, but they're going to do just as well because I'm using just scraps. These ties that are going on the side, how I made them is I cut length of fabric, doesn't matter what length it is, just basically making sure that if it goes from your jawline to the back of your head, the middle of your head, and then obviously you're going to need a bit of a tying it in a knot and a bow. So basically, if you get a piece of fabric that fits round your head from ear all the way round back again, that'll be long enough. Cut it 1.5 inches wide, and then I put it, although it's straight grain and not bias, I put it through my bias tape maker so it'll fold the sides in. I then folded it in half and just stitched all the way down, as you can see here. Right, the first thing you do is fold it along so the two 10-inch sides meet and sew all the way down there. I've sewn across the top and I've pressed a bit of a crease along the bottom of it so it's exactly in half. I put a couple of pins there to help me to see where I need to go. What you need to do is find where the middle is, line it up, and then pin. This is to help stop you having a seam across your mouth. Now, where's my little ruler? Take your ruler, you take measure, mark down by 2 inches and up by 2 inches. This is on the sides only. Again, this side, down by 2 inches and up by 2 inches. Across the top you want about 2 3/4 inches, thereabouts. And do the same on the bottom. And then basically draw a line from one mark to the other. On all of your lines, joining the top to the side and the bottom to the side. I didn't actually draw it when I was making a few of these. This is one of those. I didn't draw it, I just, because it's only a short space, I went for it. But if you take it back to your sewing machine and sew on those 4 lines now. We don't need the pins because the sewing will hold it straight. Now we know the centre middle line, but we don't know the other centre middle line. So fold it, give it a finger press, and that should do you a centre middle line. You can't probably see it, but I can. So if I just draw it there, you'll be able to see it. On your seam line, with your ruler against this middle line, just mark off where it's 3/4 of an inch up, and you want 3/4 of an inch down. Doesn't seem like much, but this does help. And across on the middle you want just over half, 3/4 again. So all you need to do is join this top line to the middle, and then the middle to the bottom line, and I hope you're picking this up. And before we take it to the machine, we'll turn it over and do the other side. Because we've got the horizontal line from when I press it after you'd sewn that first seam. Measure in about 3.5 inches, something like that, and just make a little mark. And that's from both sides. In fact, it's easier if you do a long line. You want to go up by 3/4 of an inch again on both sides, and down 3/4 of an inches on both sides again. Here you want 1/2 inch to the left hand side, mark it, 1/2 inch to the left hand side of the other one, and then just connect them up. Your markings. So, can you see, it's, if you ignore the top line, it's like a back to front P. We need to pull the two pieces apart because we don't want to sew a seam there. Fold it along the long line that you drew. This is where the two dots are. Make sure it's just those two pieces of material and not the back bit. Turn your machine on. And sew along that little triangle that you drew. One more stitch, go to the middle, foot up, pivot, and back along it. Now to reinforce it, because you don't want it to come undone on you, I've got this locking stitch mechanism, but what I also do on it is pivot again. Ignore these squares, they are what I use as leaders and enders. I'm doing a quilt at the moment with scrappy piece backing, so I use them as leaders and enders to make it up rather than doing it all in one go. Right, as I say, back it up along your stitches, pivot at the top and up down. I'll just put a scrap in there this time. Oops. As you can see, that's from the side that I marked and I've stitched along it, and the back piece is not attached to it. Do exactly the same with this piece. and then I'll show you for the front. So that is what it's like on this side when you've done the 2 darts, and they will be your chin. This will be your nose bit. I've done it slightly wrong. I should have done the chin bits here, but never mind. Yes, it's awkward to see. Pull it apart, and that big long line that was the centre, make sure your back is pulled away from it because you don't want to sew that, and fold this fabric along that line, and there is your triangle that you marked on. So you do the same again on this one. To help reinforce it. Go back along your sewing line. I may have missed the line slightly because it's hard working with the camera between your legs. And pull it out. So at the moment it looks fiddly, awkward, and it is, but it's more or less done now. So what we've got to do is cut inside these triangles. Oh, scissors. Ow. One that I've just sewn, cut close to but not through your stitches. The back of it now, same again, close to but not through your stitches. Close to but not through your stitches. You could have done this before, but I'm doing all the cutting in one go. You now cut about seam allowance of about 1/4 of an inch along these bits that you first sewed. Making sure you don't cut anything else. You don't want to do that. Oh, wasn't close enough. There you are. Now we can actually turn it right side out through these side bits, which are, it is a little difficult but doable. So push it through, push and pull. I use white thread so you can see bits of it, but there is those darts that we did 2 of them, and that's going to be your chin bit, and there is the dart that we did 1, and that's going to be your nose bit, but you grab the dart that your nose bit was and the darts that your chin bit is, and you push one bit of material inside the other. So that's exactly how it goes. Now take it to your iron and iron in the sides by about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, because they're a little bit, they go through a V. It's awkward to keep that V there, but it is possible. So just iron a seam along there. So now I've pressed it. You can use a glue stick, a washable glue stick, to help hold it down while you're doing this. Might make it a bit easier. I've already put in one set of straps, and you basically tuck your strap into the corner. Get your pin it there in place. Find your other corner, strap in the corner, and pin that on in place. And I like to, as you can see, because I used white thread so you could see it showing through, but never mind. Function over form. If it protects you as a face mask, then that's alright. That's all well and good. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what you look like when you're wearing it. If it saves your life, it does not matter. Right, get your lined up. I only pin basically to keep it together while I start it off. Do a couple of stitches to lock it, back them, forward again, and I want to take this pin out before I go over it. Make sure your edges are together and you're going to catch them both. It. So we want these straps nice and secure. And finish it. That's your side done with the straps attached. So that is the mask, and as you saw, I was wearing the red one at the start. This one is exactly the same, slightly larger, because this one will be for me, but this one will be for Lurch, and he has got a bigger head than me. In fact, what I think I'll do a little bonus episode to show how I have put on the little nose piece. So thank you, bye.